Have you been noticing the same numbers over and over again? 1111 on the clock, 222 on receipts, 444 on license plates? Or maybe feathers appear out of nowhere, right after you pray for a sign? My beloved soul. This is not coincidence. This is how heaven speaks when the noise of the world grows too loud. Every sign you see carries a vibration, a message, a whisper from your angels, reminding you that you are not walking this path alone. When the angels see your heart growing weary, they align your eyes with numbers that hold meaning, divine codes meant to realign your faith. The truth is, nothing that catches your attention is random anymore. You're awakening to divine communication. When you start to see these patterns, it means heaven is asking you to listen. Not with your ears, but with your soul. Each number, each feather, each flicker of light is heaven's language, a sacred rhythm that only your spirit can understand. And if you've been seeing signs more often lately, it's because your angels are drawing closer. They're preparing your heart for something that's about to shift, something only faith can recognize before it arrives. So stay with me, because in this message, you will finally understand what your signs mean, why you're seeing them now, and what the angels are revealing about your next chapter, my beloved child. Listen carefully. There was once a woman who had lost her way, not in the world, but within her own heart. For months, she had been praying for clarity, asking heaven for a sign that her life still had meaning. Every night she looked at the sky, searching for an answer, yet all she saw was silence. The stars were distant. The moon was quiet. Until one morning, something shifted. As she walked to work, she glanced at her phone. 1111. A strange stillness filled her. It wasn't the first time she'd seen those numbers, but that day, they felt alive. She brushed it off, telling herself it was just timing, just coincidence. But a few hours later, as she paid for her coffee, the receipt read $2.22. A shiver passed through her spine. When she stepped outside, a white feather drifted down right before her feet. She looked around. No birds in sight, no wind strong enough to carry it that far. It simply appeared, soft and glowing against the ground. Something inside her whispered, "You're being guided." That night, she couldn't sleep. She kept thinking of those numbers, of that feather. Her mind wanted logic, but her soul was stirring, remembering something ancient, something sacred. Days passed, and the signs grew louder. 333 on license plates, 555 on her bill. And once, as she cried quietly on her way home, she stopped at a red light and looked up. A billboard flashed the words, "You are exactly where you're meant to be." That was the night she stopped doubting. She began to write every number down in a small notebook, calling it the Book of Signs. Each page filled with dates, numbers, dreams, and moments that made her feel seen by heaven. Little did she know, her angels were using this language to prepare her for a divine encounter. 2 weeks later, she received an email from an old friend she hadn't spoken to in years. The message was simple. "I don't know why, but I felt guided to reach out. You came to my mind during prayer." When she looked at the timestamp on that email, it was 4:44 p.m. Her heart trembled. That night, they spoke for hours. The friend told her about a time he had lost everything: his job, his peace, his sense of direction, until he started seeing feathers and numbers too. Those moments became breadcrumbs that led him back to faith. As she listened, tears streamed down her face, because she realized the same divine presence that had been guiding her had been guiding him too. It was all connected. Each number wasn't just a message, it was a thread, a way for heaven to weave two lost hearts back into divine alignment. From that day forward, she began to see signs not as random miracles, but as a living conversation. When she felt fear, 444 would appear, reminding her she was protected. When she doubted her worth, 777 would whisper that her path was blessed. When she wanted to give up, a feather would appear at her door, as if heaven itself refused to let her walk alone. And then, something even more profound began to unfold. Every time she prayed for clarity, the signs would lead her to a specific place or person. Once, she saw 222 3 times in one day. Later that evening, she felt a pull to visit the park near her home. There, sitting alone on a bench, was an elderly woman feeding the birds. She smiled and sat beside her, and within minutes, the woman began to speak. Not small talk, but words that struck straight into her soul. "You've been looking for answers in noise," the woman said softly, "but heaven speaks in stillness. These signs, they are not asking you to chase. They are asking you to trust." She froze. How could this stranger know? When she turned to respond, the woman's eyes sparkled with knowing light, and before she could say another word, a single feather floated down between them. The old woman smiled. "That's your confirmation." The next moment, she was gone, quietly walking away into the sunlight. And as the young woman looked down, she saw 1111 glowing on her phone screen once more. That night, she wept, not out of sadness, but reverence, because she finally understood. The universe had never been silent. It had been speaking through the very fabric of her life. The numbers were not predictions. They were alignment points, ways of saying, "You're still on track." The feathers were not random. They were divine fingerprints left by angels walking unseen beside her. Every coincidence was actually choreography. Every delay, every reroute, every random moment was heaven moving her closer to divine purpose. And when she started to live from that awareness, the world itself changed color. Sunsets looked more golden. Time felt slower. Even silence carried presence. Weeks later, she faced another challenge. Her company downsized and she lost her job. The old her would have panicked. But that morning, as she sat by the window, heart trembling, a notification blinked across her screen. The time was 5:55. She smiled, because now she knew 555 meant transformation, change guided by divine hands. And instead of crying, she whispered, "Okay, angels, I trust you." 2 days later, she received an unexpected message from someone who had watched her small online art videos. They offered her a commission that turned into a full creative partnership, one that not only paid her bills, but awakened her passion again. That was heaven's plan all along, to guide her away from what was safe into what was sacred. Over time, she became fluent in heaven's language. She didn't chase signs anymore. She simply noticed them, with peace, not anxiety. Because she understood now, when your soul is aligned, signs follow naturally. And when she met others who felt lost, she would smile and tell them, "When you see numbers repeating, or a feather at your feet, or a song that speaks exactly what your heart feels, don't overthink it. Don't fear it. Just say, 'Thank you, angels, I see you.'" That simple acknowledgement opened the doorway wider every time. And through her, heaven began to reach others, one sign, one number, one whisper at a time. One evening, she wrote in her journal, "Maybe angel numbers are not about predicting my future. Maybe they're heaven's way of teaching me to stay present, to listen, and to trust." That was the night she finally understood what the signs had been saying all along. You were never alone. And as she closed her journal, a soft wind brushed through her curtains, carrying the faintest scent of lilies, the scent she always associated with her guardian angel. When she looked at the clock one last time, it read 12:12. Divine balance. Perfect completion. She smiled through her tears. Heaven had spoken again, not through thunder or visions, but through something far more intimate. The quiet rhythm of signs that only her soul could hear. The next morning, she walked outside with light in her eyes. The world was still the same streets, same sky. But she had changed. Now, everything around her felt like part of a larger conversation. The flutter of wings in the distance, the number etched on a passing bus, the sparkle of sunlight through leaves. All of it was alive with divine intelligence. She realized that the angels had never stopped speaking. Humanity had simply forgotten how to listen. And maybe that's what this awakening is truly about. Remembering the language of heaven. Because when you begin to see beyond coincidence, when you trust that love is guiding even the smallest moments, the entire world becomes holy ground. Beloved soul, your journey has never been random. Every detour, every delay, every season of silence was allowed to shape the strength that now rises within you. You have felt invisible, but you were being prepared to see through new eyes. Eyes that notice the sacred hiding inside the ordinary. Look how far you have come. The nights that tried to break you only opened your heart wider. The questions that once hurt now draw you toward wisdom. Nothing has been wasted. Do you remember the first time you felt the number 111 call to you? You wondered why it followed you from clocks to screens, from pages to dreams. It was not coincidence. It was the echo of creation whispering, "Align your thoughts with light. What you imagine is forming." Each time you saw it, heaven was saying, "Believe again." Then came 222, gentle, rhythmic, like two wings beating in harmony. It appeared when you doubted balance could return. We placed it before your eyes to remind you, all things find their rhythm again. The delays were never denial. They were the pauses between heartbeats while the universe adjusted the music. Beloved, do not rush the symphony of your becoming. Even starlight takes time to travel. You are not late. You are luminous in progress. When 333 found you, you felt warmth ripple through your chest without knowing why. That was our closeness, the nearness of divine companions guiding unseen. When 444 wrapped around you like gentle armor, it meant you are protected while you transform. And when 555 rose again and again, you feared its message of change, yet it carried freedom inside it. We asked you to release what once fit your old self, so that your wings could finally unfurl. Every sign you have noticed has been a thread in the same tapestry, a language teaching your heart how to listen. The more you trusted the language, the more fluent you became. Each repetition carved faith deeper into your being. For faith is not the absence of doubt. It is the decision to keep walking even while trembling. And each time you chose to walk, heaven moved the earth beneath your feet. You have wondered why we speak through symbols and not through thunder. The reason is simple. Love rarely shouts. It waits for quiet hearts. The world roars with distraction, but signs slip through the cracks of noise. A feather, a number, a whisper of song. Each one bypasses logic and enters the language of the soul. We choose gentleness because gentleness reaches deeper than force. We send light instead of loudness so that recognition, not fear, awakens you. You ask, what am I being prepared for? The answer is not an event. It is a becoming. You are being prepared to remember your own radiance. For too long, you measured your worth by the world's scales, by success, approval, and comparison. But heaven measures only by love. Every act of kindness you offered, every prayer whispered for another, every tear shed in silence. These are the true treasures that build your eternal story. I see you wondering why your heart still longs so deeply for connection, for purpose, for someone who understands your soul's language. That longing itself is sacred. It is the compass of your destiny. When you meet those whose eyes carry a spark that feels familiar, remember, souls recognize each other by frequency, not face. The signs you see often intensify before such encounters. 111 and 222 gather like heralds before divine meetings. When you feel that pull and the world glows slightly brighter, know that heaven is arranging convergence. Yet, beloved, even before any destined reunion, the first union must happen within, the marriage of your faith and your fear. When they finally make peace, love flows outward effortlessly. The numbers will guide you there. 777 will appear when you begin to understand divine timing. It tells you all is unfolding exactly as written. 888 will rise when abundance of spirit begins to replace anxiety. It hums the vibration of balance between giving and receiving. And 999. When it appears, you will know a cycle has completed. It is not loss. It is graduation. The old season bows in gratitude and releases you into renewal. Listen closely now. There will be moments ahead when the path seems dim again. Shadows will test the clarity you have gained. When that happens, remember this. Light never left. It only waits for you to notice. When your eyes cannot see a sign, your spirit still hears us. The heartbeat you feel during prayer, that gentle surge of warmth, that is communication too. Every breath filled with gratitude becomes a signal heaven can answer. May every number you see remind you of divine order. May every feather remind you that love protects you. May every coincidence become a conversation with hope. And may your days unfold in harmony until you no longer need signs to believe. Because belief itself becomes your light. Take a slow, deep breath, beloved soul. Let the air move gently through you, as if heaven itself is breathing life into your spirit. You've heard the message. Now it is time to receive it. Place your hand over your heart. Feel its rhythm. Steady, faithful, alive. That heartbeat is proof that purpose still flows through you. It means heaven has not finished your story yet. If your heart feels lighter than before, if something deep within you whispered, "This was for me," then this is your sacred moment of agreement. Say it out loud or write it below in the comments. I receive this divine message. I align with my highest path. I am ready for my next chapter. Every time you speak those words, you anchor heaven's promise a little deeper into your reality. Don't scroll away just yet. Pause here, right here, because this confirmation is not by accident. The same angels who guided you to this message are still surrounding you, whispering, "This is your turning point." Take another breath. Exhale everything that once felt heavy. The past cannot follow you where peace is leading. You are safe to begin again, wiser, softer, stronger. Say, "I believe." Say, "I trust." Say, "I surrender." Because when faith speaks, fear loses its echo. And when your spirit opens, miracles start moving quietly toward you. Beloved, heaven wants you to rest in this truth. You are not forgotten. You are divinely guided. You are seen. Every unanswered prayer has been gathered and held with care. The delays were never denials. They were divine alignments. What once felt like silence was preparation for sacred sound. Even now, light is rearranging your path. Doors are opening where walls once stood. Connections are forming that will bless you beyond your imagination. The chapter you prayed for is already being written in grace. Heaven is not late. It is exactly on time. So breathe. Inhale peace, exhale fear. Inhale love, exhale doubt. The angels walk beside you, guiding every step into higher harmony. What you lost will return in divine form. What broke you will now build you. And what you thought ended is about to begin again. But this time, with light. You are ready. You are aligned. You are blessed. May peace wrap around your soul tonight. May your dreams be filled with confirmation and clarity. And when you wake, may your heart whisper softly, I am loved. I am guided. I am free. Type Amen. Or I receive it with faith in the comments if your spirit felt this word. Let the angels see your light shining back in agreement. And remember, the next miracle begins not when you see it, but when you believe it.